information or lacking transparency and efficiency in your processes? Do you find yourself juggling between multiple manufacturers or platforms, dealing with manual order placement and management, and facing challenges with inadequate sales reporting or billing process? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you're at the right place. So again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Hope you'll have an insightful session, and we'll have a round of question at the end. So I'm asking you to keep your questions for the end. So first, let's start with a short game plan. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the benefit of process centralization. We're going to talk about the importance of personalized strategies, even if we're talking about centralization. Personalization in our industry, in our environment, in our businesses is key. So we're going to talk about that. I want to discuss a little bit our own journey at MTM.Design, from where we come from, why we're there talking to you about process centralization. And we're going to introduce a short case study before we go to a short round of questions. So that's the agenda, the game plan for today. So first, centralizing operation for efficiency. So why talking about process centralization? Diversification can pose several challenges for custom clothing businesses. One of them is logistical management complexity. We're in an industry where every order is different, every client is special. Having various sources of supply can block custom clothing businesses to scale, because integrating a scalable process for one manufacturing is already a challenge. So building the same process for 4 different sources must be very hard. I'm sure some of you tried that before. We did, and we failed. Actually, we didn't fail. We ended up succeeded, but I'm going to tell you more about that later. So there's a lot of things to account for. Client consultation that leads to an ordering process, fabric ordering, if we're talking about cut lengths orders, order management, communications with the makers, invoicing, account payables, ETAs for delivery, backstore management, and so on. I can go like that for hours. Quality variability, it can also be a challenge. Like, each supplier may have different quality standards, leading to various production quality. This can definitely impact your customer satisfaction, and at the end, your company's reputation. Some of you might use different manufacturers based on the fabric you have available with them, if you're not doing cut length, but only ordering with the manufacturer source. Getting a quality suit from Dormay or a B quality suit or wedding jacket made with jacquard fabric with 2 different facings, different labels, variability in the measurement, all of this can be tricky. I understand why some of you do that, but trust me, there's a better way. There could be better ways. There's also the complexity in the supplier relationship. So managing relationship with multiple suppliers requires time and resources, daily communications, contracts negotiations, dispute resolutions for quality control, special request management can become more complex through various sources. Some makers offer proper system to access order information, some others don't. Some of you are probably very familiar with deep email, WhatsApp, or WeChat searches, because it's the only way for you to find the information about your orders. Some of you might also wire money in advance to multiple factories. Driving a business, communications should be easy. At least that's what we believe. Should be easy to manage, easy to trace, and streamlined to a maximum. You should be meeting with clients and delivering top-notch experiences, not sending emails or text messages or WhatsApp conversations or WeChat to find out what's going on with orders. Increased cost and diversification of sources can also be tricky. I mean, managing multiple suppliers can incur additional costs related to relationship management, transportation fees, price variation between suppliers, and that can affect the overall profitability of the company. At the end of the day, it leads to scalability challenges. You see where I'm going with that, I'm sure. Scaling production becomes more difficult when dealing with multiple manufacturing or supplier source. Each supplier may have different capacities, capabilities, lead time, making it challenging to scale production and stop babysitting orders. At the end of the day, we're all here to grow as business owners, as individuals, and also help our end customers grow by empowering them with extraordinary wardrobes. To do so, the process is very, very, very much important. So let's talk a little bit about the impacts of centralizing processes. First one, definitely increasing the efficiency overall. So by centralizing processes, redundant tasks can be eliminated and workflows can be streamlined. This could lead to smoother operations, reduced turnaround times, and ultimately increase productivity and client satisfaction. I can name multiple aspects where a centralized hub, a centralized platform, a supply chain optimization solution can help you streamline these and create more efficiency, whether it is through a visual garment creator, whether it is to automate communications from different triggers in that platform, transparency overall. So there's a lot of ways. Another impact could be transparency. I mean, let's talk about transparency. It's definitely not a valued thing in our industry, but it is part of our core value at MTM.Design. We believe that if a good system is in place, centralization could provide a clear overview of operations, allowing for better visibility into each stages of the process. This transparency enables stakeholders to track progress of orders first, but also identify bottlenecks and make informed decisions in real time. Tracking of fabric cut length transportation between mills and manufacturers, for example. The order statuses for delivery tracking, the stock of fabric in real time, the back order and discontinued fabric updates and management, fabric requests, traceability for each orders, which is definitely something valuable for the quality control process overall. Reports on sales, margins, fabric sold, best sales staff of the month, unit per transaction, repeat customers, average card value, and a lot more. This is definitely something we put at MTM.Design at the forefront of everything we do. Whenever we first communicate with our customers, that's one thing, but also in every development efforts. It's very something that we truly believe that if you have the right information in real time, whether it is, as I said, for fabric, for orders, for data insights, then you can take informed decision, better support your clientele, and at the end of the day, have a better scalable process. Talking about that, like the collaboration overall, strongly believe it's something truly important. Centralization fosters collaboration amongst teams by providing a centralized platform for communications and data sharing. With everyone working from the same playbook within your organization, teams can align their efforts more effectively, leading to better coordination and synergy. I'm sure some of you are still operating by yourself, but maybe some of you are also wondering how to go to the next step and hire, train, support a sales team towards your business goals. To do so, establishing a scalable process is key. Your employees, if dedicated to sales through a one-stop shop solution or a process, shouldn't have to manage manual order processing, fabric orders, billing emails all over the place, all of this with different suppliers. You most likely have difficulty keeping up for yourself. So imagine them. Giving them access to a proper system will allow you and them to concentrate on your client base and stop worrying about the back and forth operation. At the end of the day, money talks. So Centralizing processes often leads to cost saving through economies of scale, resource optimization, and reduced manual intervention. And by eliminating resources optimization and reduce manual intervention. By eliminating inefficiencies and streamlining workflows, organizations can lower operational costs and allocate resources more strategically. Various economies of scale can be done by leveraging the power of a collective buying power. So that's a big tour of what we believe are the impact uh, of centralizing business processes. But in today's business landscape, one size no longer fits all. So a personalized strategy is definitely key for success. So tailoring your processes to fit the unique needs of your organization and audience is not just a luxury. It's a necessity for sustainable success. However, we all know that building that scalable structure is not an easy task, but good news, we made one for you. Um, all these steps may seem cumbersome in terms of operations. The time spent managing consultation with the client, placing the order after all, paying the supplier for the CMT, ordering the fabric, paying the fabric supplier, following up with the supplier because you haven't received the tracking, and oops, the fabric from Gladson was out of stock. Choosing a replacement, managing communications for replacement fabric, then following up again to ensure that the item is sent on the deal date, finally finding that the tracking number was somewhere in a text conversation, and manually inform your client that his suit and shirt will arrive next Tuesday. Following that, referring to your note to do your post-purchase follow-ups in order to generate repeat business. So that's kind of a lot of steps. If you meet 10 clients per month, that's doable, but I'm sure you want to do more. So I assure you it can be different. By centralizing your processes, your business operations, the friction in the process from A to Z can be eliminated or at least drastically reduced, allowing you to serve more clients and serve them better. It leads me to a little bit of our journey, because if you did not know, we come from a custom clothing retail organization. All of the processes built within MTM.Design were originally built to solve our own challenges within our retail organization. So we developed what later became MTM.Design, initially for a Canadian brand. You probably recognize the French-Canadian accent, operating 12 custom menswear stores across Canada. Back then, the technology was developed because there was nothing on the market to serve our needs and fit our processes. From employee management to CRM functionalities for clienteling, automatic order processing and fabric ordering, POS functionalities for billing, analytics features, among others. In 2017, we kind of realized that scaling our brand and try to advertise for franchisee, we definitely wanted to be the reference in North America with that brand back then, and we kind of pivoted and executed what is called a spin-off, realizing that the technology developed for our B2C business could serve the entire industry. So during this transition, we also realized how much centralization of global processes helped our new B2B partners, companies just like yours, to grow to the roof. It worked for us, it worked for you guys, it worked for others. So we kept pushing, and we're very, very excited to be where we are at this time, helping custom clothiers in their journey for growth and success. Now we work with more than 70 brands using our services on 3 different continents. We work with various manufacturers for different product types. Yes, shirts, suits, slacks, waistcoats, overcoats, all the tailoring stuff, but we also do all the casual at different factories. We're talking about t-shirt, polo shirt, jeans, outerwear, etc. We also work with the global network as far as fabric on our end. So we're extremely grateful to support such a great network of partners, and special thanks to the ones that are with us today on the webinar. I've seen John, I've seen JP, I've seen Caitlin, I've seen Tio, probably a bunch of others down there. So thank you guys for being there. The system we developed was not built with a manufacturer's mindset, but more for retail operations, to allow you to streamline your entire business process with as less friction as you could get. We knew that we weren't the best at developing like different process such as CRMs or point of sale systems, and that we needed to stay focused on our development efforts to ensure that we accomplished our mission to empower the custom clothing movement with growth-focused solutions. So to ensure we accomplish this mission, we needed to stay focused, as I said. So we had to offer our clients the opportunity to centralize their operations and data within MTM.Design, while still allowing to interconnect with several other processes and platforms available on the market. So yes, we do have an API. So if some of you guys want to integrate with our API to have some bridges on your website for status updates and things like that, so that can be done. Some people did that. But we more especially integrate with a third-party platform called Zapier, which integrates with any pretty much every software as a service, as you can see on the screen at this time. Whether it is for automating client communication, for status updates in real time, or keeping your MailChimp or newsletter audience up to date with every customer you serve through your centralized data infrastructure, whether it is to create an invoice inside a point of sale system. So there's multiple use case there. Centralizing your process data and supply chain enables you to connect with all of that. But it also allows you to get real-time information from our integrations with the factories and the fabric mills, which is, I believe, a strong value in the process of streamlining the overall workflows. I do want to share a little bit about Taylor Cooperative, which is a very valuable partner of us for a long time. Custom clothing business, men and women, located in the heart of Salt Lake City, Utah. Their commitment to quality and unwavering customer service through unparalleled sartorial experience definitely made them stand out from the crowd in Salt Lake City. In our business journey, we've had the opportunity to meet a bunch of extraordinary individuals who share similar visions and values. Two of them, Adam and Chase, have definitely been special for us from the beginning of our relationship. Both coming from the business world, they had the background to consider developing tools to grow their brand and make Taylor Cooperative the benchmark in Utah. So they did. And their initial problem statement was that they encountered operational challenges with their growth due to the use of outdated methods such as paper forms for client measurements and customization details. Inefficiencies resulting from this manual process led to frequent human errors and client dissatisfaction, as well as progressive demoralization of the team responsible for order entry and quality control, because they had multiple sales staff on the floor. The proliferation of errors and delays in order processing had significant financial impact in the company, with increasing replacement costs and extended lead times. So the impacts of centralizing their operation through us was it basically allowed them to centralize their operations, thereby eliminating costs associated with manual order entry and reducing human errors through the overall process and having a more accurate online ordering process. by enabling customers to validate details and customization of their own orders in real time. MTM.Design improved their overall customer experience, reducing orders errors and ensuring increased customer satisfaction. By automating order process and providing instant access to order and measurement history, it enabled TC to optimize its operation and increase team productivity by, of course, reducing time spent on administrative tasks. Centralizing their processes through us also enabled them to create multiple workflows to make them save time and automate client communication and customer status updates on their website, and also by integrating, yes, with our API, but with several Zapier integrations. So fun fact about Adam and Chase, while you read that quote they wrote us the other day. But Adam and Chase, who I consider them serial entrepreneurs, their first baby was Taylor Cooperative, and they poured their heart and soul into developing good business practices. Centralizing their processes with MTM.Design has allowed them to step back from TC's operations and embark in other projects together, such as multiple other unrelated business journey together: construction, electricity, arts, and several other projects. So you can see that those guys are not short on ideas. However, to accomplish such great projects, it takes time, it takes processes. For that, hats off to you guys, and thanks again for your trust over the years. I want to, since we're slowly reaching the end of this presentation, I want to highlight a few takeaways. So first thing first, by centralizing your processes, you can eliminate redundancies and improve efficiency. That's for sure. Don't compromise on quality. Centralization helps maintain consistent standards across suppliers, ensuring top-notch products and happy customers. Scalability is definitely possible. I'm telling you, we've done it. We've helped so many others do it. So, but do it without the headaches. Centralized operations can simplify expansion by providing a solid foundation for growth. Also, transparency is a big thing for us, and it's non-negotiable. Keep everyone in the loop with transparent processes. Centralization offers real-time visibility into operations, at least through us, and enabling better decisions and smoother workflows. Also, collaborations, it does like foster teamwork and synergy. So by bringing everyone onto the same page, the same process, collaboration becomes seamless, and it definitely helps to drive success for your guys' business. So in conclusion, I mean, we've got to the lowdown on process centralization and how it can impact your business. I hope that you had a short and insightful session. But before we go to a quick round of questions, I strongly invite you to book one-on-one meetings with me, so I can immerse myself with your business operations and see how we, MTM.Design, can help you streamline this whole thing you have. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for following us in our journey. And we have still a few minutes, so if some of you have questions, you can either raise your hand or unmute yourself or hit the chat if that's easier for you. Not all at the same time, guys. Thank you, Anthony. That's a pleasure. As I said, we've while since you don't have questions, as I said, we built a system for ourselves. So yes, Anthony, you're muted. Yes, you are. Can you unmute yourself just by hitting the little microphone? You should be. Otherwise, you can ask your question in the chat. Sorry, it's not our first time, but our second time. So we're not the best with. Actually, we're normally good with technology, but organizing webinar is not our bread and butter, as you can see. Can some of you unmute themselves? Are you able? Maybe Antoine, you can help me with that.
I think it's worked now. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Anthony.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Just a quick question about fittings. Is there a way to store photos and record updates with measurements and all that with your software?
Yeah, very good question, Anthony. I would love to go through it and go through a discovery call with you if you want to book a meeting with me later on. But yes, the way we build the system is built as some kind of a CRM. So then you do have client profiles with measurement profiles assigned to a client, where you do have a possibility to store a multitude of pictures during your fittings, and everything is always updated on the measurement profile, so you don't have to re-enter any measurement as it goes. You can just save them. You can also have different measurement profiles for different garment types. So yes, that's definitely something we account for. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your question. John Limberopoulos, you have a question from Texas.
Yeah, Phil, I was just interested if you had an example of how the MTM platform integrates with a traditional CRM tool. I know you have some CRM functions within the platform, but there's a lot of data that we keep on our clients, all the way down to number of kids, favorite cocktail, college on water, all those kind of things are CRM data points. Do you have an example of what API you use to try and integrate for more traditional CRM tools?
Yeah, this wouldn't be done through an API. It would be done through a webhook from our integration with Zapier. So if you want to open an account with Zapier, John, and look at it a little bit and see what are the possible integration through Zapier and HubSpot, there's a very wide range of possibilities there. Just to name a few use cases, so from a, let's say, a client creation in MTM.Design, it could trigger first the creation in your CRM with all of the data you inputted on the note page, client information page, so it can populate your CRM with that information to gather your source of truth within MTM.Design. And then, so that's one thing. It could populate that. You can also hit a second trigger that would create an email sent from HubSpot, or a sequence triggered from HubSpot to after a purchase. Let's say 3 months after a purchase, then you could trigger from HubSpot a sequence 3 months after to get some, just to do some clienteling. Hey, John, how was your thanks for swinging by last time at the store. Just a quick check-in, blah, blah, blah. Here's some new stuff, like whatever. Then you can trigger automated emails from there. So that's something you could also do. I believe you could also set tasks in HubSpot. So let's say after a purchase on MTM.Design, then it could create a task on your end 7 days later to maybe go through the order or follow up with your customer if you like to do things manually by phone calls. So those are examples that you could do. So I suggest you look at Zapier integration possibilities with HubSpot.
Okay.
Open the Zapier account, and we can also I suggest you book a meeting with me so we can dive a little bit more into that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any other questions, guys? So again, we're running out of time there. So I want to thank you everyone again for joining us. Thank you for following us. We're gonna send you a quick follow-up to this email, probably with the recording of the webinar. If you want to schedule a meeting with me so I can immerse myself in your business and see how we can help you streamline this whole thing of yours, please book a meeting with me. It will be a pleasure to connect with you on a personal note. Antoine also just shared the link from HubSpot, since we're talking about HubSpot, to connect with me. So thank you everyone again. Looking forward to talk with you shortly. Bye bye.